ready.
Wally has played George Michael again on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. Use the word jetapult. It's actually a word people don't realize. Hey, little curveball. Got my fingers on the seams right there. This is Dog Days of Summer. Dog Days of Summer. You right?
Who's the dog? What is that?
Beat up Bulldog Johnny stole his
Belt.
and put it on.
Roll call. A spidget.
Spidget.
A spidget.
A spidget.
Welcome to Sports Chat. Hey, Nate, we don't have television.
Let's see who that is. That's Elton John.
Elton John? You gotta be kidding me.
Elton John.
No, that's not Elton John. Come on, man. That's one of the Rick Springfields, man.
Rick
Come
Springfield.
on. You gotta
Wasn't
know.
that the guy that was in the soap operas or something like that?
He was in
Dallas.
No, he was in the hospital, General Hospital.
Oh, Falcon Crest.
No,
No, that was my mom's favorite show, was Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest. What about Dynasty?
I like Dynasty. Dynasty was pretty good.
And Dallas and Dynasty. Dallas, Dynasty, and Falcon
You know, we were
Crest.
talking about the other day, it was Incredible Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard, Dallas, and then Falcon Crest or something.
That was some good television,
All
man.
one night, man.
We didn't have Netflix and Hulu, and
None of that stuff. But
we had to glue into the networks, bro.
yeah.
Welcome to the January 8th edition of Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. And like always, don't know why you turned it over to Channel 2, but Wally and I sure are glad you did. And so here we go. And speaking of watching Channel 2, Wally, we've learned that we could possibly be at the end of an era here at Channel 2, Troy Cable. Wally and I have learned that Mike Amos with the Today in LA show, which has aired every weekday morning here on Channel 2 for 28 something
30
years.
Man, good gracious.
He has told Troy Cable that he's done. And now there's been times over the past few years that he spoke of this, and he's always came back. And but as of today, January 8th, here we sit. He didn't do a show all week last week, and he's telling Troy Cable he's done. So just end of an era.
Man,
Mike, there's the old captain, right
Yeah,
there.
you're right, brother. It truly marks the end of the era. And if he does it return, it looks like as it may be done for sure. You know, and just his legacy in one nutshell, and I can tell you, it's just so impactful.
Looking at these banners on the wall,
Yeah,
Today in LA, Bud Namath show,
and and all the stuff he's done, like with the parades, and I mean, just good gracious, man.
Yeah.
But he's going to surely be missed, and Mike, we love you. I mean,
he usually watches our show.
he does, and man,
I hope this is just he needs some time off.
Yeah.
And that he'll after 2 or 3 weeks say I missed that and let's get it going. But you know, it's because
who's going to do the cake stuff, man?
I know.
I've always wondered how many cakes Mike Amos has sold for benefits.
A bunch of cakes. For nice fundraising too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're looking at $20 cakes that he would sell for $7,500.
Oh yeah.
And that was a huge fundraiser for those
all types of
organizations.
things. Yeah.
But yeah, from coaching shows. Let's see. Sports Chat with Neil and Wally, you're on the air.
What's happening, fella?
Hey, Bulldog, what's going on this week, man?
Bulldog?
Well, I was in there watching the Cowboys, and that got to be a bad performance of the ball game. So I figured I'd turn on one of my favorite Christian groups is on YouTube right now on a live broadcast from a church in Florida, doing some singing, trying to get a little uplifting going on. You know.
Well, you can't beat that. Dallas is still behind.
Yeah. What's the score?
23-6.
Dallas can lay an egg now.
Unbelievable.
They went to Jacksonville a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
they're about as bad as Wally's Kentucky team laying the egg yesterday.
Ooh, buddy.
Yes, sir. But how's Pike County doing in basketball? They're about half and half, aren't they, Bulldog?
Yeah, they lost to Op this weekend at home. The girls didn't, the boys did, but
Yeah, they got a good girls team, don't they?
yeah, they got a lot of seniors on the girls team for that matter. Yeah,
I know that Amity White is really putting up some points.
she is. Her and that green Little girl putting up a lot of block shots, you know, because she blocks a lot of shots when she's in there. So
Yeah. Have they announced a spring training date?
no, they hadn't. I ain't heard nothing out of no spring training date just
Any
yet. But
any shake up in any of the assistant coaches down there that you heard of?
no, not really. I think we all gonna still be intact a little bit.
Okay, that's
But,
good.
I did see
Continuity.
where the other day we had that signing day thing for Ian the other day, and
Yep.
as everybody knows, he's going to Marshall, and
Yeah.
he said in his interview with the paper the reason he went to Marshall is because when he went for his official visit, the vibe up there was like the vibe we had down here with the team down here this year.
Cool. Hey, you got to go where you feel like you're needed and loved.
Yeah.
That's true, and two, he could be, and two, you know, in a couple of years he'll get to play as his own self on that when they bring back the college football video game. He'll get to play as himself on there in a couple
Yeah.
of years.
Maybe he'll, you know me, I'm a homer. Now, I'm a Trojan now. I'm a homer. Maybe
I know it.
he'll get a year or two at Marshall and
So
Troy.
what was y'all talking about at first beginning? I missed the first part of it. What was y'all talking about, Mike?
Mike Amos, his show could be over in the morning. I think he's retiring.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I know it's been on for a long time.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
done a lot of good things for
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I hope Ian goes up to Marshall and Troy whips him a couple times and he thinks, that's where I need to be, and transfers home.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be some.
I'm the same way with all these local athletes going to South Alabama and North Alabama and Marshall. I just want them all to play for Troy. I want all the local kids to stay home.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can wish.
Well, Wally, I got a little bell ringer for you tonight.
Okay.
Well, Wally will have to decide that now.
Championship game, so, and TCU is, I think it's still 13-point underdog. I'm gonna take TCU in the points in this one.
There you go. That is a bell ringer,
After
buddy.
what Georgia doing the other night, I think TCU, if they play like they played the other night, ain't gonna have no problem with Georgia.
Oh man. Well.
I don't know about that. Ohio State loaded with 5-star athletes. They matched up with them with size, strength, and speed.
And I also want to make an announcement too for anybody that has seen that saw the video thing last week. The XFL returned February 18th.
Yes, sir. We covered that last year. We're probably going to cover it some this year. And Brandon
coaching the team that Brandon Silvers went to.
Brandon Silvers got drafted, and we'll be following him for sure. And there may be another Trojan or two that we need to follow too that we'll let y'all know about.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do. I know I seen where some of them's going to the draft combine. They ought to give Carlton Marshall the invite to the draft combine.
Well, he did get invited to the Senior Bowl now, so that's about as good. Not as good, but about as good.
Well, y'all boys have yourselves a good show, and we look forward to talking to y'all hopefully next week.
All right,
All
bud.
right,
Take
bud.
care, man. Have a good week.
You too.
See ya. Bulldog Johnny on the call. Always a good call. But going back to Mike Amos, Wally, I hate to leave the conversation on Mike Amos and head into sports. But think about him, all the coaching shows he's done through the years, on-field interviews with all these kids that are now grown up, live, like you said, live parades, live sporting events, taped sporting events before they had the technology to go live. He did it all, man. I'll say this, Wally. He built Channel 2.
Oh, yeah.
He built Channel 2. In my mind, he built Channel 2. And there's no bigger Trojan out there. If you had a 2-minute conversation with Mike Amos, you knew exactly who he was pulling for. And he pulled for the Troy University Trojans and the Charles Henderson Trojans, and he let you know it quick like. There ain't no bigger Trojan than Mike Amos, I tell you. Yeah. But you'll be missed. Mike, if you don't come back and pick up where you left off, which we all hope you do, you'll be missed, brother.
Yeah.
We will attempt to carry on Channel 2 as you built it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good observation
Yeah.
there, Neil.
Yeah.
And you're talking about football games. Speaking of football games, don't we have a little game tomorrow
Got a
night?
little game tomorrow night, don't we?
We sure do.
TCU beats Michigan, and Georgia comes from behind to beat Ohio State last weekend, which it has set us up for what I'm calling a Cinderella story, Wally, like basketball. It's TCU's a Cinderella story. TCU versus the defending national championship Georgia Bulldogs. Wally, it's David versus Goliath, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
TCU wasn't even ranked, folks. They weren't even ranked in the preseason polls. And they have lived on the edge all year, coming from behind in the second half of their games. They even lost the Big 12 championship to Kansas State, who, by the way, got smashed by Alabama last weekend.
Yeah.
So that worries me right there. But does this all add up for Cinderella tomorrow night, Wally? What's your thoughts,
Well,
man?
I mean, we will have to see, but it kind of reminds me of last year when Cincinnati got in there and they were playing Alabama,
Yeah.
and you know, Georgia's just inundated with 5-star athletes.
I think the word is
and
loaded.
loaded, or I would say inundated.
Inundated. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
So you're looking at even the guy holding the ball for punts
Was a highly recruited person.
was highly recruited person.
That's right.
And you're going up against
Two-star.
a 2-star
Or a no-star.
or a no-star. It's going to be close in the beginning, but I think by third and fourth quarter,
They just wear them out. I mean, the bigger, stronger, and faster.
yeah. I mean, and if one of their good guys goes down and one of Georgia's good guys go down, they're getting another 5-star coming
Off
in
the bench.
off the bench, and then you got TCU that
Yeah.
some guys probably a walk on or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm gonna tell you,
Look, there's the word right there.
you know,
Good deal. Good
oh
deal.
my God. He would put Y2K started. Didn't start until last week.
Of course.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But anyway, what you think? I mean, what's the deal?
I think I'm kind of on board with you. I really am. I think if it's a normal, run-of-the-mill college football game, Georgia's going to win going away, just like you just said. I like your thinking. It'll be close up front, and then Georgia will pull away. Look, folks, they play inspired. They play with heart, and they've made it all the way to the national championship game. But the facts are the facts. TCU can't match their speed, their size, and their strength. Essentially, it's 5 stars versus 2 stars. Athletes, they're bigger, stronger, and faster. But I'll say this. If you go over there and play tiddlywinks over in that corner, that's a game. Anything can happen during a game. If TCU can muddy it up, Wally, if they can muddy it up. Now remember, I started this conversation with if it's a normal run-of-the-mill game. If they muddy it up, and I'm talking 4 turnovers,
Yeah,
muff punts, TCU returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. If they muddy it up, Georgia has unorthodox 17 penalties like Alabama did. I'm talking if TCU can muddy it up, they can cause trouble. They can cause trouble. And with all that said, though, it's hard to muddy it up when Georgia's that good. And I like Georgia by 12-ish, a little under the number, like Bulldog Johnny said. I like TCU to keep it close. I like 12, 12-ish right there.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, the game's tomorrow night at 7:30. So I think every network, the ESPN conglomerate is going to have
It's going to have it on
have it
in
on.
any language you want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think that's pretty neat, man. That's pretty neat.
Dang, man, we're sitting here talking about the national championship game, Wally. We're talking about the national championship game, and that just blows me away because it seems like you and I were just sitting here getting excited about college football and high school football was getting ready to start back in August, and it just goes by so fast, man. Just here we are in that
Well,
championship
hey,
game.
man, we need to mention our bowl pool contest.
Yeah.
It's still up and running, and there's not been a change since last Sunday. We still have Albee 2 in first place, Bama champs 14 times. In second place, and RWS 2, 44 in third. And we will be watching closely to see if anything changes after national championship game.
Yeah.
Hey, our prizes first is $50 gas card sponsored by All Star Collision, and second place $30 gift certificate to Francesca's Italian Restaurant on the Square. Ate there the other night. It was real good.
Yep.
In third place, a free oil change and tire rotation balance, Road Mart, and I sure needed that Friday too.
I did too. Me and you fed the Road Mart, didn't we?
Yeah, Jason, I know you watch our show religiously, man.
I had to get the Bronco fixed.
Congratulations.
I had to get the Bronco fixed, and you had to get the Ultima fixed.
The Ultima fix, man, but man, my damage was a lot worse than yours, though,
Yeah,
bud.
yeah.
You know, Jason called my car the skeeter wagon.
He told me that when I went in there. He said, "Wally brought the skeeter wagon up in
Skeeter
here.
wagon.
He said, that thing smoking."
Hey, the other day I'm going to work, and I truly had to let all the windows down because all the oil smoke was just. I look like
It's just like our commercial.
yeah, it was exactly like our commercial, man. People just laughing, going down the road. I mean, it was hilarious, man.
Oh yeah.
But one day I'll have big money like you, and I can buy me a
Yeah.
nice Bronco or
Yeah, we're
something.
going back to our bowl contest. So it's so fun to watch that bowl
Oh,
contest.
it
I
is.
keep up with it, man, and I'm still hanging out in 8th place, and that ain't too bad. But man, Wally, were you watching the NFL game the other night when DeMar Hamlin fell out in cardiac arrest?
man.
It looked like just a normal tackle.
It did, and you know, after about 5 minutes, the first person I text was Dr. Law, my neighbor over there. I'm like, man, please tell me you're watching this game.
Yeah.
He said he was. I mean, and you really don't know what was going on, but you could see the expression on those people's face that it was not good.
Yeah.
But hey, I gotta say, hats off to ESPN, all those announcers, how they handled it, and man, because they were in uncharted water. I think we all were.
It
You know,
never happened that way before.
it's never.
Yeah.
Now I was as a kid, and you watched it too, and
Yeah.
I saw Joe Theismann, folks
Get his
win-
leg broken half.
Get his leg broken half, and just freaked me out because
Yeah.
they kept on showing it, and you see a bone sticking out of his leg.
Yeah.
That was about the most traumatic thing I've seen
Yeah.
up until.
You know, he came to Troy Country Club to play golf about 15 years after that, and he was here. He owned a company that was selling K&W something,
Yeah.
and he came to play golf. And I asked him. I didn't ask him about his injury, but he knew I wanted to talk about it. He said, Mr. Neal, he said I couldn't feel anything from about the waist down. He said that's how traumatic it was. He said it was like I was paralyzed when I was out there. He said that's how your body just takes care of that. He said I was just numb.
Isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird?
God, that was so
Yeah.
nasty.
Yep.
Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're way behind. We're not done with our opening monologue, but we need to take our first commercial. We'll come back and we'll come back and finish in our opening monologue, and then we hit those Facebook funnies and dive right in. We just run a little behind tonight. We'll be right back.
Mr. Neal, is this the crazy guy that does the sports show with you?
Yes, it is. Wally, what are you doing up here at Globe? How long has he been up here?
He's been up here for like an hour, and he hasn't moved, and he's scaring off the customers.
Wally, I know you said you were going to Globe to get Holly a birthday present, but you're taking this a little bit to extremes, don't you think? Acting like a mannequin? We're gonna have to call the law. You gotta come to Globe for all your needs. Up on the square, Globe Boutique. 3, 2. Man, what kind of call is that? Are you kidding me? The ball bounced in front of the plate.
He's out of there, baby.
What in the world? You can't see nothing. I'm over here. I'm over here. What? The
right
ball
down the
bounced in
middle.
front of the plate. Man, he needs to go to Troy Eye Care, 566-7172, and get those eyes checked immediately.
Oh man,
Wally, what are you doing at the UPS store?
my printer is jammed, man. I got to do 2,000 copies for the Penske file.
Well, why even worry with that little bitty printer and print one at a time, man? You're gonna run out of ink. Look, UPS store does mass printing. They can print 2,000 or 3,000 copies, cheap, fast, and efficient. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. I mean, why even mess with it? Come to the UPS store on Brothers Street. UPS store, all your printing needs.
Man, did you see the size of that crowd, man?
Man, Pompano's that big down here, dude.
I don't know what it is, man. It must be these shirts.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
They like these shirts, man. Deep South Apparel, Pete Van Horn in Montgomery.
And heck yeah, man, they even go good, even salt water they can.
Saltwater fishing. Deep South Apparel in Montgomery. Call Pete Van Horn. Man, I'm out here at Firehouse Subs in Troy, and I ordered me a sandwich on my app. Best sandwiches in town. Firehouse Subs, Troy, Alabama. Wally, what are you doing? What are you doing up here at Firehouse?
Bill, they said for a fireman get free subs, man.
They don't get free subs. Firemen get discounts.
Oh, discounts.
But they know you're not a fireman.
Yeah.
Come on, I ordered on my app. It was super easy. I'll pay for yours. Come on in. What are you doing with the hose? What are you doing with the hose? So nice. Welcome to Firehouse in Troy. Come see them. Best subs in town.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
Hey, Wally. Why in the world you got all these fans in the window, man?
Man, I was cooking a mess of chitlins. It about burned my house down, man. My whole house smells like chitlins.
What is it, smoky in there?
Yes.
And you
These
try-
fans are going to help, I think.
The fans are not going to get the smoke damage out of your kitchen. You're going to have to call Alabama Restoration, 371-5591. Alabama Restoration. No mess is too big, especially not a little smoke damage in Wally's kitchen cooking his chitlins. Call them at Alabama Restoration.
Had help being done, huh?
Just like in our intro before the show starts, Wally has played Wham again. This is
Dang,
Culture Club.
man, that's Ben Dunn's favorite group.
Culture Club. You like that?
Yeah, he loves Culture Club, man.
They're colorful.
They are colorful. Come on, chameleon.
Chameleon got all the colors, you know.
What
Colorful.
is a chameleon?
This type of a lizard.
I saw something one time. You know, you have to look at something and figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was 2 commas and a chameleon.
Come in. Yeah. I tell you what, man. Me and Michelle went to the Schoolhouse restaurant last night.
Yeah.
Man, it was as good as always, man. If you hadn't been to the old Schoolhouse restaurant out on 87 as you're going out of town in a while, you got to go get some of that, man. Those little cornbreads they give you for appetizer before the meal, them things are just addictive, man. Golly, I could eat them things, man.
Shoot, man. Me and Holly and Blake, we went over to Francesca's Friday. And dude, it was, man, his lasagna. Yanni, they do such a good job. And he
That
talked
lasagna, man.
talked to me. He said they're almost done with the meat
Yeah.
and 3 they're going to do
Yeah.
across town.
Yeah.
So he'll have 3 things in operating. The pig, Francesca's, and I
and
think
the
the other
deli.
one's the deli or something.
Yeah,
Deli,
something like
Picky
that.
or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, pretty cool.
Also, I've seen where Dan Smith has been urging folks on Facebook and Twitter and all. It's time to sign your kids up for recreation softball and baseball, man. And Troy has long been blessed with an incredible recreation department. And if you got kids, man, you need to sign them up for Troy Recreation Sports and do it right now. And you will not be disappointed. Again, it's time to sign your kids up for softball and baseball. And heck, I think the deadline is like tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well,
you need just sign them up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, football and basketball's halfway done, and it's time to pick up those bats and gloves, bro.
It is, ain't it? It is, ain't it?
Man, Dan Smith, man, hats off to him. There's nobody better than Dan Smith.
You will
but-
not be disappointed getting your kid involved with recreation sports in Troy, Alabama, man.
Yeah.
And man, I think they got the foundation poured at the Baumhauers, man. I didn't go by there and get a picture, but they got. I was coming through there, come between Popeyes and Publix right there, and I looked to my left. They got the frame where they fit. Dude, they fixing to put that place up. I mean, they are moving. They are moving on that Baumhauers. You think they'll be open before football?
Oh yeah, they'll be open for football for sure. Yeah, I know you're excited though. Yeah,
I'm gonna be just crushed. if Baumhauer's don't sponsor our show. That's gonna crush me.
That'll
man.
crush you. I hear you. But man, Troy's on the move, baby. Jason Reeves, Mayor Reeves, he's doing such an amazing job moving our city forward and getting new businesses.
Absolutely.
The new bowling alley will be right next to Baumhauer.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
and I hope they sponsor our show as well. I'd love to get some free bowling, man.
Well, just because they sponsor our show don't mean you're gonna get free bowling.
Well, they give me a discount, a wallet discount.
When you gonna get somebody to set up that a curling facility, man? I know you thought.
right
I know
now.
at one point you thought you could be a curler.
Man, they have those up north. I mean, they got all those leagues, but it's slowly making it down south. And I'm telling you, I think I could do the curling. I
Twinkle
tried
toes.
at
Twinkle toes?
Twinkle toe. Yeah, at the judges midwinter last year up in Huntsville, I went to review
Oh, Lord.
a curling arena. It was pretty neat. But,
Yeah.
yeah. But who are some of our sponsors there, my bro?
Our commercial sponsors, the Old Barn Restaurant. There you go, man. The Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen. The Pig Cafe, Hooks Barbecue, Troy Eye Care, Glow Boutique, Piggly Wigglies of Troy, Turner Mowing, Deep South Apparel, A1 Services, the UPS Store, Road Mart, Jones Medical Supply, the Alabama Real Estate Connection, Severa, Ralph Baker, Hastings, and Reeves, Attorneys at Law, Southern Grill and Patio, Bill Jackson, Ford and Chevy, Tyler Transport Trucking, Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, Crow's Chicken of Brundage, Eddie Bailey's Dentistry in Laverne, Max Credit Union, Stone Cold Heating and Cooling with Mr. Matt Johnson, Sorrell College of Business, the Crease Agency, All-Star Collision, Preston Steakhouse, Alabama Restoration, and Firehouse Subs. Hey, let's just move straight on into our Facebook funnies. Want to?
Yeah, there you go.
Run those Facebook funnies real quick. 90% of being married is just shouting "what" from the other rooms.
Yep.
That's about the truth right there.
That's true.
Especially you get older, you can't hear. Why I gotta wear a seatbelt and the garbage man hanging off the back of the truck?
I love that one. That's good.
I had to hide my car in the kitchen from the repo man. Look at that little old bitty car, man. Unbelievable.
Cali needs some car.
Hallmark researchers say they are close to developing a second movie plot. All the movies are the same.
All the movies the same.
Love story.
Yeah.
They're all a broken heart love story, man.
Hey, before we go on our next little segment,
Yeah,
I did want to say, Chip Wallace texted me before the show. You know, I don't know if you knew this, but John Mike McCall's been under the weather real bad.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
Did not know
and,
that.
Yeah, he has, but he had texted Chip and said that he's up in the mending. So prayers to John Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a follower show and all that.
Yeah.
Keeps up with us. So just we're praying for you, bud. You get well.
That's right. That's right, man. And moving on into some sports.
Well, did you see what our producer just
He's
said?
ready for another break? You ready for another one?
Another break. Hey, I want that picture of me on the curling thing. I need so.
How'd you do? Was that your face on the curling thing?
Yeah.
Put that. Can you put that back up there again? Let's see real quick.
Get that to
Tell
me.
him you want to be the curler dude.
Yeah, I won't be the
Put it
curling
first.
dude, but
Hey, we're up against our second break. Hang tight. We'll be right back with some sports.
Hey, Wally, what you got us out here in this field for?
Neil, I finally bought a brand new boat.
A boat, man. Show it to me. Look at that. What? Got it on Facebook. Facebook?
Yes, sir.
The USS Alabama?
Yes, I gotta get some insurance.
Well, you're going to need to call the Grease Agency. They sell insurance on everything. How you going to get it back to Troy?
You got a trailer, don't you?
I don't got a trailer. I hope you didn't buy any beachfront property in Arizona on Facebook. Call Grease Agency for all your insurance needs.
Look at this, what we got, Sully.
What are you doing, Wally?
Man, game warden gave me a ticket, Neil.
Game warden gave you a ticket. Are you hunting on the right property?
Well, I thought this was my property right here, man.
Do you know where the lines are?
Not really.
Man, you need to contact the PLS group. They do all the land surveying you need. If you're building a house, building property, marking property, you're hunting land so you know where to go. PLS group, 403-4234. Give them a call.
Do I get a get out of jail free card?
No, you don't get a get out of jail free card.
Man, what in the world? You just dang T-boned me right here. What in the heck? Playing with fidget spinner?
Wally, did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally?
Man, this girl right here is playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone and T-boned me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision, 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
it.
Mr. Wally.
All
Thank
she's
you.
worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You gained donuts?
Oh man, what a nice day with the windows down.
Yeah, cruising right along, man. Just running around Troy.
Hey man, what's that smell?
What do you mean? That's Hook's Barbecue, man.
Oh,
Don't
that's
you smell it?
Oh,
Hook's.
I'm going to Hooks, brother.
Oh my God! Hold on. Good Lord, Wally, what in the world? Hooks, baby. Good Lord, help us all. He about killed us. Good gracious.
Neil, call Jason Jones.
What is it?
Out of oxygen, man.
Oxygen. You got your snorkeling device right there. What do you mean you're out of oxygen?
Oh, all this is to show people where you are, man.
What's that? Why do you can breathe through that?
I need to call Jason.
Unbelievable. Jason, can you bring some oxygen from Jones Medical Supply down to St. Andrew State Park at the Jetties? Wally needs some oxygen. Call Jason Jones for all your oxygen needs. We're out here at this lovely pond with the Alabama Real Estate Connection crew. They can hook you up all types of land, recreational sports, ponds, and everything. We're fishing to catch us a big old brim.
I got one, Wally.
But then what if you want something other than just a fishing pond?
Well, if you're looking for hunting land, the Alabama Real Estate Connection will help you with all your hunting land needs too. Here are the agents right here. They'll hook you up with your hunting land.
Call us.
Make sure you contact the Alabama Real Estate Connection for all your real estate needs. Look at these fine agents right here. All your real estate needs. They can find anything for you, maybe even a Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Hey, what's going on today?
Mr. Mill, do you know this guy? He comes here every day for breakfast and lunch.
This guy over here?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do know him.
Man, look at the size of this chicken right here, man.
Oh my God, Wally, how many days in a row have you eaten here?
Every day, bro.
Come out to the Pig Cafe, Monday through Friday, breakfast and lunch. The biggest cat head biscuits for breakfast and the crispiest fried chicken for lunch. Come out to the Pig Cafe.
That's carpenters. Carpenters? You think so?
Or the
You pretty
Osmond
sure?
brothers.
The Allman Brothers?
Osmond.
Osmond Brothers.
Yeah.
You think? That is Firefall. Firefall.
Firefall.
You ain't never heard that one?
Yeah, they were smash hits and all that stuff.
They had this 1970s smash hit, Firefall. That's good stuff, man.
Remember the Osmond brothers?
I do remember the Osmond Brothers.
Donnie Marie Osmond? Yeah, they're.
That was the Osmonds, not the brothers.
Oh, I thought it was called the Osmond brothers.
No, just the Osmonds.
Oh,
Because
okay.
one was a male and one was a
Oh,
female.
okay. There you go. All right.
They're still around, man. They sing something all along. You'll see them.
He's
see
in
them do
Vegas
something.
doing something.
Yeah. All right, back to some sports action, man. Troy University head ladies basketball coach Shanda Rigby got her 200th win as a college coach this weekend.
She gets a bell ring.
I'm gonna tell you what, man, that's one heck of a career right there. And I'm gonna tell you, man, she's still got some years left in the tank too. But she does a wonderful job for the Troy Trojans. There she is right there. And congratulations, Coach Rigby and the Lady Trojans basketball team. I know a couple years ago it was rumored she was trying to get the Auburn job. It just was not true. She loves Coach Troy. She's a Troy Trojan, and she is doing a wonderful job for the Lady Trojans.
Yeah, sure enough, man. Congratulations,
Yep.
Coach. And as I told you last week, Troy University finally reached out and offered Charles Henderson's incredible athlete, Jawan Boyd.
Yep.
Now holds offers from Houston and Troy, along with several other small colleges. But wait and see, buddy. He gonna by the end of next year, it's gonna be
That's right.
big time.
Yep. And we also had that commitment over in Laverne. Let's don't forget Mr. John Taylor from Laverne. He committed to play for the North Alabama Lions up in Muscle Shoals area up there. And also, we spoke of this last week as well, Wally. Defensive lineman Keldrick Falk flipping from Florida State to Auburn on early signing day. The big Highland Home recruit down there, the big 4-star defensive end.
Yeah. And then also Carroll High School, Camilio Overton has signed to play football in Memphis.
Yep.
Good luck to Carroll's Overton and Memphis. And we do have one more commitment to report, Neil.
Yeah, this is a new one.
Yeah, Ian Foster has committed to Marshall Thundering Herd. He announced earlier this week. Congratulations, Ian. I know you're going to be doing big things in Marshall. You know, I thought he was really going to go to Vanderbilt. You know, that was
I did too.
that was the
And he
real,
also and along with Vanderbilt, Wally, in my brain, this is how I had it playing out. He also had a big offer to Liberty. Hugh Freeze had offered him at Liberty. And I thought, in the back of my brain, when Hugh Freeze got the Auburn job, that he would look at some of his recruits from Liberty and maybe offer some of his recruits. And I thought Ian was going to get an offer from Auburn. I really did.
Oh, did
But
okay.
it never happened. It didn't manifest. Coach Freeze's offer from Liberty did not carry over to Auburn. But boy, I sure was hoping that was going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Really did.
A couple of signings this week as well over in Wicksburg. Wicksburg High School had 2 football players signed to play with Faulkner. This in Montgomery this last week. Jalen Murray and Tyler Williams both signed as teammates to play at Faulkner. And best of luck to them 2 Wicksburg players. I know they'll do well up in Montgomery.
Yeah, exactly. And then, man, I saw the Dothan Eagle. They posted their Super 12 football team, and we want to congratulate all those kids, especially Coach Hambright, head coach at Charles Henderson High
Yeah,
School.
there he is.
He
Coach
got
Ham.
coach of the year. Congratulations on that. But also Alvin Henderson, the 5-star running back from Elba, for being Dothan Super Eagle Player of the Year.
Yep.
You know, last week we spoke about him having 60 offers.
Just 60, Wally.
The kid is a player, brother.
Yeah, let's take a little second and run down those players that made the Dothan Eagle Super 12. Of course, you just mentioned Alvin Henderson, running back, Elba High School. Blackman, we missed his first name, I apologize. Running back, Dothan High. Michael Johnson, wide receiver, Enterprise High. Carmelo Overton, linebacker, Carroll High. Jawan Boyd, wide receiver, Charles Henderson. Damian Hart, linebacker, Charles Henderson. Ianze Pierre, defensive lineman, Eufaula High School. Patrick Screws, offensive lineman, Eufaula High School. Jackson Williams, quarterback, Houston Academy. Ian Foster, wide receiver, Pike County High. And Ian Sin, athlete from Ayrton High. And there was a bunch of honorable mentions, but we didn't have time to type all those out right here. Looking at Dothan Eagle for the Super 12.
Yeah, congratulations to all those kids as we closed the door on high school football. Now we're getting softball and baseball going on.
Golly, it just keeps going, don't it?
Man.
Just keeps going, yeah. But we got spring training to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, those high school kids will be getting ready for spring training. It'll be here before you know it. But it is time to break out the bats and the gloves. But mostly the gloves. You know, we talked about this last week, and starting in January, the Alabama High School Athletic Association will only allow you to throw and catch for the first few weeks of January.
Never understood that.
Stupidest rule ever. But it is what it is. It's the rules. And you know what that makes the daddies have to take their kids to the cage and hit because the coaches can't hit with them.
Can't hit
It's
with
against the rules.
Unbelievable.
But, yeah, it'll be neat to see the baseball and softball fields in action again and have some activity on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And currently, we don't have any information about Pike Liberal Arts' new head football coach. But a little birdie told us that there's a strong possibility that a coach is going to be named this week. So keep close eye out on our social media accounts, and Twitter and Facebook. That will be where we'll post when we learn who the new coach is. Neil, any chance they will let Will Austin just coach football another year? That's what I was wondering.
I don't think so, Wally. I don't think so. Not that Will Austin wouldn't be awesome again, but I've talked to a bunch of people, and they're reaching out to some strong names, some names that have retired from the state of Alabama, folks that are done with their public school coaching and teaching and retired. I'm not going to call the names because I'm just not 100% sure. There's some really big names that have been contacted by Pike Liberal Arts, and I know for a fact they've been contacted. And with that said, no, I don't think they'll lean on Will Austin to coach football, although he'd do a great job. But like you reported, I think we'll know this week. I really do, Wally.
Or what about some basketball scores, man? You want to?
Yeah, let's run through some of those real quick, and then we'll take a break after we do the scores right here. Headland 44, Eufaula 43, Ashford 63, Northside 41, New Brockton 58, Daleville 53, Opp 64, Pike County 58, as Bulldog Johnny reported just a little while ago on his call. Houston Academy 64, Providence 31, Slocum 67, Northside 62, Abbeville 51, GW Long 35, and Jeff Davis gets the best of the 7A defending state champs, Enterprise 64-55.
Yeah, Slocum drove down to Houston County, beat them 37, Cottonwood 81, Wicksburg 69, Luverne 75, Zion Chapel 65.
High scoring game.
That was a real high score. Wiregrass King 67, Crenshaw Christian
34.
34, Dothan 47, Enterprise 44. Enterprise is just having a hard time this year.
They're
looks like.
playing everybody really well because they're talented, but they're not winning the games like they were last year.
In Barber County 68, Ayrton 65, Elba 48, Houston County 30, Kinston 52, Elba 37.
And Wally, we got 6 or 7 games that we want to dive a little deeper and call out some of these kids' names, maybe hand out a pizza.
Yeah.
So y'all stay with us. When we get back from this break, we'll run down some important closer area games here in the Troy area and call out these kids' names and some rebounds and some points and give away some pizzas. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
What in the world, man? I come over to check on things. What are you doing trying to beat that bush up?
Neil, my trimmer battery went dead, so I had to get this bat and try to trim this up.
You're not going to be able to knock it out with a bat. You got to call professional bush trimmers like Blake Turner with Turner Mowing. 465-0600. Call Blake Turner. You're going to fall off that ladder, man. Just quit right now. Let's call Blake Turner. Hey, call Blake Turner 465-0600 for all your yard needs. Why in the world? Why are you measuring this gigantic air conditioner out here at this warehouse?
Neil, I'm putting a brand new unit in my house, man.
You cannot put an air conditioning unit this big at a residential house. You need to call Terry Moats with A1 Services. He'll get the square footage of your house, put you in an air conditioner, a heating unit, everything you need. Call Terry Moats at A1 Services. You don't need a unit that gargantuan. Call Terry Moats at A1 Services, 566-4220. Man, what's that noise? What are you doing with that air conditioner heating unit?
Neil, my air conditioner went out last night, and I tell you what, I watch YouTube, and I know how to do all this stuff now.
You heard, Wally, this could be really dangerous, man. You need to call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, 268-0917. Licensed, insured, and bonded. You need to call Matt Johnson,
Hey,
Wally.
Neil, what does this red thing do?
Don't pull on the red wire. That could be dangerous, man. What'd you do? Don't pull on that red wire. Good gravy. Now you've done it. Call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling. Wally, what are you doing with that hoe?
Neil, with inflation and the price of groceries, I decided to deal my own garden, brother.
Wait a minute. Number one, this ain't even your property. This is Mr. James Sparrow's property. You live across the street. And second, the HOA rules you can't have a garden. Prices are not that bad at the Piggly Wiggly. Come on, let me show you. Come on with me. Now look, greens, peaches, collards, look over here. Apples, fruit, veggies, all here at Piggly Wiggly in Troy. And also the best meat selection in Troy, right here at Piggly Wiggly's, 2 locations in Troy, Alabama. And also the most important thing, you're shopping local. Come see them at the Piggly Wiggly's in Troy, Alabama.
You know this guy?
Yeah, I know. Wally, what are you doing, man? What in the world?
Nice Bronco.
Why are you hugging the Bronco at Bill Jackson Ford?
Because I want a Bronco, brother.
Are you gonna buy it?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeez. Well, you can't just be out here hugging vehicles. You got to talk to the salespeople. What are you doing?
Kicking the tire, you know they say you got to kick the tire before you buy a new one.
Just kick the tires. Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama. Also, Bill Jackson Chevrolet across the street. Hey, they got new vehicles on the lot. Come see them. Man, I'm up here at Southern Grill and Patio. Look at all these big green eggs, all these accessories, man. It's all you want with the big green eggs. Wally!
Neil, look at the size of this big old green egg here, man. Look at this thing.
That's a big old green egg. You can't get a green egg that big unless you're a platinum green egg dealer like they are at Southern Grill and Patio. Check out this new store up here on Grundy Street, right next to Troy Cable, along with Town and Country. Come visit the new store, the new layout. Look at all these big green egg accessories over here. Come see them at the new location on Grundy Street. Get you a big green egg, because I'm going to get me one. Here I am stuck in the middle with you.
Bob Dylan.
It sounds like it. No, let's see. It is Steelers Wheel. Nate got it. I couldn't read it because I ain't got my glasses on. Steelers Wheel.
Steelers Wheel.
True one-hit wonder. You know me, man. I'm gonna pick out one now.
Yeah.
Come on, Wally. That's good stuff, man. Neil.
The Stinky Wheelers, is that what he said?
Steel wheels.
Steel Wheel. Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Back to the sports action real quick. We always got to do our little music. Y'all know that. But Carroll High School topped Greenville in basketball. Beat them by 10, 64-54 this week. For Carroll, Dakota McLeod had 19 points. Xavier Womack had 15, and Lakeith Person had 14.
Knocking it out. Well, man, hey, Ayrton beat 5A Rehoboth 65-54 this week. Ian Sin had 20 points and 10 rebounds, and Lawson Lager had 12 points to lead Ayrton. Isaiah Johnson and Andon Garris both added 9 points each for Ayrton, with Johnson also grabbing 8 rebounds. Landon Tyler, we called his name many a time, also chipped in 7 points and 9 rebounds, brother.
Yep, and swipping over to Crenshaw County, Brantley takes down Kinston this week, 65-61 in a good basketball game.
Heck yeah.
Leading the way for Brantley was Jaden Parks with 22 points and Keldrick Brown with 14 points and 10 rebounds. Brantley's having a good basketball season.
Yeah, Pike Liberal Arts gets a big win over Alabama Christian this week, 44-38. For Pike Liberal Arts, Levi DeBoer had 19 points, and Will Rice, 8 points.
My neighbor.
Your neighbor over there. Earlier in the week, the Patriots took a loss to Highland Home, 44-23. In that game versus Highland Home, Levi had 10 points to lead Pike Liberal Arts. Taryn Brown led the Flying Squadron with 17 points. This was an area loss for the Patriots.
Area loss, yeah, that one hurt. Dale County beat Cottonwood 58-49 earlier this week, Wally. And for Dale County, Junior Smith earned 12 points. Get this, 20 rebounds for Junior Smith. He also has 6 assists. Jamarvian Scott had a team-high 16 points, and Nick McCarter had a double-double with 13 points and 10 rebounds for Dale County.
Wow. Well, man, the Trojans, Charles Henderson, whips up on Greenville this week, 87-61. That was a tight game at halftime, but the Trojans pulled away in the second half. Halston Cross led Charles Henderson for 31 points. Jaden Spearman followed with 18, and Tyler Carlton had 16. 11 Trojans scored in the win over Greenville Tigers.
Hey, that's coach moving them in and out, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
11 Trojans scored.
Austin with 31 points in an area game, man. I tell you what, that is pizza worthy right there, brother. Tell you what.
Gotcha.
Austin Cross, you win a large Marco's one-topping pizza, so you be sure to give them a call, visit them, show them your driver's license, and you'll get a one-topping pizza, baby.
Just call Marco's, tell them you're the Sports Chat with Neil and Wally Player of the Week, and hit that drive-through, and they'll have it ready for you.
Yes, sir.
Pretty awesome. And we got one more break we need to take. We got some football we want to discuss. We got a national championship game tomorrow night and a couple other things going on. But got a good show rolling. One more set of commercials and finish it up strong. We'll talk about some recruiting, which has continued to trickle this weekend.
Yeah.
The recruiting is trickling this weekend, and especially for the Auburn Tigers. Good things happening over on the Plains with Hugh Freeze in the recruiting this weekend. And we'll cover that just a little bit, along with a little more about the national championship game tomorrow night. But we got one more break. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Breaker 19, Breaker 19. I got cleared for a takeoff in Troy.
Whoa, Mr. Neal.
Yeah.
Mr. Neal, what is he doing?
I don't know what he's doing. Wally, you don't have a pilot's license. I've already told you. I'm sorry, ma'am. Look,
Oh, my
you got a
goodness.
CDL license. You need to call Tyler Transport at 566-7474. They're hiring every day. Those beautiful 18-wheeler rigs got those glide packages. Call Tyler Transportation if you need a job driving.
Here I come,
Get out
Daddy.
of there. Good gravy. Hey, what are you doing, man? What in the world? What's happening? Unbelievable. Back up. Back up. Put it in reverse. Put it in reverse.
I need a mechanic.
Unbelievable. What have you done in there that caused all that smoke?
I watched a YouTube video.
Unbelievable. You got to take the thing to Road Mart where they know how to fix vehicles, a mechanic. Take the vehicle to Road Mart on 231 North. Don't be like Terry, Wally. 566-3413, Road Mart, 231 North in Troy.
It's so good to be back at Preston. I'm so hungry.
I'm hungry too.
You ready? What are you doing?
Kelly Tater.
What are you doing? Wally, that's somebody's food.
What kind of nut are you?
I'm so sorry. He gets in a trance when we come to Preston. I apologize. He is a nut job. Hey, snap out of it, man. Oh, that's not yours.
Oh, we're Preston's on.
Come out to Preston's and get your own Kaylee Tater. Man, hey, what are you not coming in to get some Crow's Chicken and Brundage?
I need some nugget sauce, man.
I'd like a nugget dinner with extra sauce and roll. Don't worry about him. He's on the same over the door.
Lord bless it. Nugget dinner.
We're going to eat it here. Crows and Brundage.
Frozen Brundage.
Well, hey there, Mr. Wally. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. How'd you get in here?
I better not tell you.
They don't even open till 4.
Well, I'm waiting to hear Mr. Lenny Traver play, and I'm gonna get me one of these bad boy steaks that they won an award for.
Best steak in the state. Also, best catfish awards a couple years in a row. Hey, my personal favorite is the fried shrimp and the cheese grits. Also, not mentioning the cheese biscuits that come out before the meal. You're gonna love that.
I know.
And a little live music, like you said, Mr. Lenny Traver, you can't beat it down at the old barn in Goshen, Alabama. Come see them.
Come see us.
That hurts.
What's wrong now?
Is that a rattlesnake? Rattlesnake done bit me.
Unbelievable. Well, why are you at Southern Animal Hospital with Dr. Steve Bear?
Dr. Bear told me he had some anti-venom for
Oh
me.
my goodness. Now he does have a vaccine for dogs to help protect from venomous snake bites. He also has antivenom to help protect animals from snake bites, but not for humans. Goodness gracious, we got to go to the ER.
Are we going to do what they say can be done?
Jerry Reed. Can't remember his last name. The Bandit, man. That is a great show.
That's probably the best movie of all time, man.
I love that, man.
Jackie Gleason, unbelievable.
That sure was a popular son of a gun. I was waiting on that funeral.
That SOB, he knew everybody, but they just kept going in circles.
He's gonna run around. That movie, man, just tickled me.
Oh, my
hey,
goodness.
we were talking before we came on the air, man. I know we don't hit the NFL very often, but this trickles back to college football. The Houston Texans were in line pretty much all year to get the #1 pick in the draft with the worst NFL team. And today, the Houston Texans played the Indianapolis Colts, and Houston wins on the last play of the game. They score a touchdown to beat the Indianapolis Colts, which cost them the #1 draft pick. And immediately after Texas won that game, Houston won that game, the Texans. That made the Chicago Bears the worst team in the NFL.
I bet the owner's like, can you believe this?
And so now Chicago has the #1 pick in the draft. So they're on the clock. They're on the clock now for the #1 pick. And Wally and I were talking off air. Wally said, "Do you think Chicago picks Bryce Young?" And I'm thinking, no, they got the quarterback from Ohio State up there, and Justin Fields. And I think they're betting on Justin Fields being their quarterback for a long. They love the way he runs the football.
Yeah.
He's dual threat, and so I told Wally off the air. I said, I bet they pick Will Anderson. I bet Will Anderson, not Bryce Young, but Will Anderson. So a little flip of the switch right there in Tuscaloosa, because everybody been thinking Bryce would be picked before Will Anderson. But if you're the owner of the Chicago Bears, who do you take #1?
They need defense. Good, great. Their defense is terrible.
You know, they gave away Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens in the middle of the season. But we'll see. But the Chicago Bears are on the clock with the #1 draft pick. They are officially the worst team in the NFL. They get the #1 draft pick. But they got a quarterback. So, you know what? They could trade that #1 pick for maybe 3 or 4 other first-round picks, maybe. We'll see. I always like that draft.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Pretty cool stuff, man. But we'll talk a little college recruiting. We got a few minutes left, but man, as we said last week, some folks said Nick Saban was getting losing a step. Here Alabama goes, winning the recruiting battle, ranked #1. Georgia comes in ranked #2 in recruiting, and Miami ranked #3. Now Miami had a crappy year, but they do got a new coach, Mario Cristobal. So you gotta tip your cap to Mario Cristobal coming in 3rd in recruiting. I mean, that's just a big deal, man, right there.
Man, well, Auburn come in at 20 in some polls. 20?
Yeah.
Is that going to get it done, Neil?
20th is not going to get it done.
Okay.
But, you know, 20th, it's not the greatest, but it's better than 56th, which is where they were ranked when Hugh Freeze got hired. But, you know what? 20th was where they were before what happened this weekend. And I'm going to tell you, Wally, for the first time in 3 or 4 years, I am watching
one of those high school all-star football games, All-American game, and a guy, you know how they do their announcements on the sidelines, like during a timeout or whatever? Well, they go to this player commitment on the sidelines, and I'll be darned if a guy didn't pick Auburn over Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, and several other big schools, and I'll just like to fell it. I mean, my jaw hit the ground. Are you kidding? It's been 3-4 years.
There's some mafia guys behind him.
I don't know. I'm just saying, it's been several years since one of those kids at those all-star games with the camera and the whole nation watching him chooses Auburn. It's been several years. Now they choose Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ohio State, you know, whatever. But this kid picked Auburn over Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. And I mean, it's been a long time since that happened on live television, one of these all-star kids. Maybe things are turning around for Auburn, you know, I don't know. But, man, I also picked up a Maryland transfer this weekend, a guy that started on the defensive line from Maryland, transferred to Auburn. It's rumored that the Oklahoma State quarterback is close to transferring, and some sources on Twitter say he's already committed, and they just hadn't got the grade thing, the classes thing worked out yet. But
wow.
But so on that 20th ranking, that could be wrong, Wally. After all this is breaking this weekend, I'm thinking top 15, maybe 14, 13, 12-ish, maybe. It was a good weekend for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, well,
it was a good weekend for the Auburn Tigers.
They needed it, man. You know, they were way behind. You know.
Yes, you're right. You're right. But you know, I think if you were to put out a grade, and you were to say, "Hey Neil, let's grade Hugh Freeze on his first 3.5 weeks," knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Knocking out. Now it's only 3.5 weeks, but knocking it out of the park, man. And it's gonna be interesting. You know, these coaching changes at the capstone. Bill, what we're gonna do with the dynasty at Alabama is not going away. People thought, you know, hey, they losing their way on recruiting and all this kind of stuff. They lost 2 games this year. Saban got who he wanted, didn't he?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, if Golden and Bill O'Brien's still there, it ain't gonna matter.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. Speaking of Pete Golden and Bill O'Brien, it's gonna be interesting the coaching changes at the capstone. If there is any coaching changes at the capstone, I don't think all the blame needs to go on those two, man. I know they're the coordinators. They're the offensive defensive coordinators, so they're supposed to take the hits. I just think Alabama just wasn't very healthy in a couple of their losses, man. They just weren't very healthy. I think, and the Bill O'Brien and Pete Golden just took all the heat for that, Wally.
Yeah, well, think about it this way, Neil. Alabama's so accustomed to making the playoffs, and if they don't, heads roll, man.
That's true.
That's the expectations are so high in Alabama, and Saban's made it that way.
That's right.
You know.
I tell you what, Wally, let's just these last couple minutes skip on down to some basketball, you know, too. And we've got the national championship game tomorrow night. We've already discussed. We both like TCU plus the points.
Yeah.
But hey, the Troy Trojan basketball team's 11-6 on the year. Trojans won both their games this week over Old Dominion. I went over there for that one. And yesterday they won over Arkansas State. Mm-hmm. And check this out, Wally. The Trojans even made ESPN's plays of the day with a thunderous dunk in the Arkansas State game. They went plays of the day. And the Trojans are back in action on the road this week at Georgia State. And then Thursday up at Boone, they play App State on Saturday. So 2 road games for the Trojans this week.
Well, Alabama basketball is 13-2 on the year. Tide had 2 wins this week.
Yep.
One over Ole Miss, a huge win over Kentucky, which Blake and Holly and them, their buddies, they got to go.
Your son and your wife were there.
And a 26-point victory over Kentucky. Blake was very disappointed.
Yeah.
Bama's on the road this Wednesday versus Arkansas, and then back home on Saturday for a big game against LSU.
And I saw a tidbit go across the bottom of the screen on ESPN where that was the absolute worst Alabama has ever beat Kentucky in basketball in the history of them playing basketball.
You know, it was tight at half.
Yeah.
I mean, but dude, it just.
And I'm gonna tell you this, man. That Miller kid for Alabama, number 24. Dude, he's special.
He's special, man. Y'all better enjoy him. He ain't gonna be at Alabama for 1 year.
Well, what's wrong with Auburn?
Man, they're 13-2 overall, Wally. They split this week. They lost to Georgia, but they turned around and beat a highly ranked Arkansas team 72-59. Auburn's in action this week at Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I think the huge win at Arkansas this week's going to get Auburn back on track, brother. Don't miss the national championship game tomorrow night, 7:30, ESPN. Wally and I both like TCU plus the points, but we like Georgia to win the national championship 2 years in a row. Keep it cool out there. Appreciate you tuning in.
See ya.